I've said it before many times, and hopefully I'll be saying it many more times in the future. I bloody love video game history. Documenting this sort of stuff may not seem important to some people, but to me it really is. I've stated many times in the past how lucky I am to work with so many awesome, extremely knowledgeable people on this subject, and one that I have brought up a few times in the past is Bitmap books. When chatting about the history of the Master System, Neo Geo point-and-click adventure games, that War of the Worlds video I did, plus no doubt endless amounts in the future, it's these books, plus many others of course, where I find myself constantly looking through for inspiration and to find the obscure answer I need for a particular topic. The Complete History series just wouldn't exist without stuff like this. And even though I have already done Metal Slug The Complete History, when the company asked if I wanted to take a look at their ultimate history book, I couldn't say no. As a standard that we have all come to expect, the print quality and feel of this rather hefty and lovely smelling book is your standard Bitmap books flair. A game that looks as good as Metal Slug with probably the greatest pixel artwork ever released deserves nothing but the very best pixel perfect printing, and with this ultimate history you've got just that. But on top of that, how about the foreword by SNK's Director of Quality Assurance? Interviews with no less than 9 members of the team who worked on different entries in the series, and best of all, extreme detail showcasing the birth of this legendary franchise. Endless amounts of custom artwork, storyboards, comparisons to the material that influenced the original team, a heavy amount of research into the games that came before Metal Slug, such as In the Hunt. And don't get me wrong, I love the Metal Slug logo, it's incredibly iconic, but how amazing do these concept logos for the game look? Some of the very best developers in the world, as far as I'm concerned, worked on these games that are just so brilliantly stunning that I often find myself pausing the games to admire the sheer crazy amount of work that must have gone into each tiny animation. And now with this book, I don't need to. It may sound like I'm gushing a little bit here, but it's true. Metal Slug The Ultimate History is a stunning book that makes me want to play through the games yet again. If by this point in the video you feel the same as me, then there's a good chance that you actually already have this book. And for everybody else, I highly suggest using my affiliate links below to pick this or any other titles up. In fact, whilst recording footage for this very video, the doorbell went, and voila, they went and sent me another book. I honestly had no idea this one was coming, so yeah, thanks Bitmap Books. Would you look at this? Plenty more stunning artwork from the second best 16-bit console of all time. Triggered. Seriously though, browsing through so many legendary titles zoomed in and out in all of their 16-bit glory is quite breathtaking. This era is my all-time favourite era of any generation, and this book represents that weird grey looking system quite nicely. The front of the book states that this is the definitive pixel art book for collectors, connoisseurs and fans, with hundreds of exclusive images, screenshots, maps and articles about the most beautiful video game classics of an unforgettable era. And if you ask me, that nails it perfectly. You got obvious articles based on the Legend of Zelda series and others looking at Aladdin, which, did you even know there was an Aladdin game on the Super Nintendo? Me neither. Apparently it's pretty good too. Obviously not as good as what we had over on the Mega Drive, but would you look at that artwork? Look guys, you haven't got to take my word for it. The Super Nintendo was a good system, obviously, and for fans of the system, I highly suggest keeping an eye out for this book when it makes its way over to the Bitmap bookstore, because it's rather good.